Happy New Year, friends! It's winter, and I know that winter looks different depending upon where you live. Where I live, the winters are sometimes cold, but sometimes warm and sunny, and we rarely ever have snow. I'm bundled up for the cold weather. I have my fireplace going, so whatever your winter looks like, I hope you're enjoying it. So let's look into our books. The first one's called It's Winter. It's by Linda Glacier, and it's illustrated by Susan Swan. The illustrations in this book are a little different because they're cut paper. It's winter. I chase and zigzag here and there, catching snowflakes in the air. They land on my face and on my hair. I stick out my tongue and catch one. Yum! Flakes and flakes and flakes float down, down, down. Some melt, but some stick when they touch the bare ground. I can hardly wait to wake up and see how deep the snow will finally be. We're all bundled up in warm snowsuits with scarves and hats and mittens and boots. The snow's so bright we have to squint. Each step we take, we sink, 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 making deep footprints. It's winter time. We make snow angels and build a snowman and snow lady. They sparkle brightly in the sun. I don't even feel cold. I'm having so much fun. Bare tree branches reach up high, sketching brown tree patterns in the sky. There's a tap, tap, tap. I look up and see a woodpecker pecking at a tree. Here's the woodpecker. My breath comes out in small white puffs. I trudge in my snow boots going squeak, crunch, crunch. There's air so cold it freezes the hairs inside my nose. Brrr. One day I get a letter from my grandma and grandpa who live down south in Florida. They say it's hot and sunny. Oh, that seems strange and funny. Our winters are so different, it's hard to believe. But see, here's a photo of them sunning at the beach. Meanwhile, here up north, in caves where I can't see, little brown bats are hibernating. They don't eat or move, they barely breathe. They all huddle together and sleep, sleep, sleep. Inside this hollow tree, there's a honeybee hive. The honeybees hardly seem alive, but they're staying warm by crowding together, all taking turns huddled in the center. It's winter, way, way down under my feet. Turtles, snakes, and earthworms are fast asleep. Groundhogs are also curled in sleep. Their hearts go so slowly they barely beat. Chipmunks sleep underground on piles of nuts and seeds. Sometimes they wake up, take a quick snack, and then go back to sleep. We skate around on the frozen pond, and way under the ice, down in the soft mud, dragonfly nymphs are fast asleep, and so are hibernating frogs. So here are the children skating, and here are the frogs and things sleeping underneath, hibernating. That's when an animal sleeps or rests in the winter to stay alive. It's winter, but even here up north, not all the animals are asleep. Deer come to eat the tender twigs and bark of trees. Gray squirrels leap from branch to branch and tree to tree. Whee! Every day I scatter birdseed. Then lots of birds swoop down to eat. We get sparrows, cardinals, blue jays, and chickadees. They eat and cheep, cheep, cheep. The sun sets early. The days seem short. Even before dinner, it's already dark. We search the night sky for winter constellations. Look up there, I see Orion. The moon glows with a soft, creamy light, and oh, there's a halo around it tonight. I spot a snowshoe hare, just sitting there. Its white coat blends in with the snow, but soon, in the spring, its fur will turn brown to blend in with the ground. One day, we notice that some snow is melting. The sun feels stronger. The ground is getting warmer. Soon, very soon, spring will be here. But right now, it's still winter. We slide down smooth and slippery hills. Whee! Watch us go. I hope we get another snow. It's winter. It's winter. Whoopee for winter. In the back, it gives some ideas for winter activities that you can do with your favorite grown-up. It says you can make a pine cone bird feeder by tying a string around a pine cone, covering it in peanut butter, and rolling it in bird seed. Then you can hang it in your yard for the winter birds. You could keep a list of all the winter birds you can see through your window. It says, notice how many types of evergreens there are. So those are trees that stay green even in the winter. Oh, if you do get snow, you could look at different animal tracks and try to identify them. Go snowshoeing, sledding, or ice skating. You can't really do those things where I am, but there are still plenty of activities like bird watching and just noticing the different ways that trees and plants look. The next one I want to read is called Snowfalls. This one's written by Kate Gardner and Brandon James Scott. Oh, it's illustrated by Brandon James Scott. That means that he drew the pictures. Snow starts. Snow softens. Snow tricks. Snow tracks. Snow blows. Snow glows. Snow slides. Snow hides. Snow snows. And snows and snows. Snow smiles. Snow shields. Snow flies. Snow glides. Until at last, snow goes. And the last book I want to share with you is Super Snow Day. It's by Michael Garland. This book is a seek and find, so we will probably spend a little bit of time looking at the pictures. Tommy was about to eat his breakfast when he heard the TV news lady say, "The schools are closed. It's a snow day." Tommy looked into his cereal bowl and saw a note from his Aunt Jeannie. "Take a look out the window. This is more than a flurry. You have time on your hands now and not a single worry." Tommy couldn't wait to get outside and have fun, but first he had to shovel the walk. He scooped up a note with his first shovelful of snow. "When you finish your work, you can come into town. The world looks all new when snow's coming down." Tommy strapped on his snowshoes and trekked into town. The streets were alive with people enjoying the snowy day. When Tommy reached the town square, he saw a group of huge snow sculptures that people had made to celebrate their snow holiday. On the first one there was a note, "We've cleared off the whole lake. Find a rod and some bait. You might get a bite. You just have to wait." When he reached the lake, Tommy took off his snowshoes and joined the other ice fishers, hoping to hook a big one. Across the lake, an ice boat race was sailing past. Tommy caught a big fish, and it had a note in its mouth. "Come join the crowd, go for a glide, a sleigh and some horses make a nice winter ride." Tommy followed the crowd going into the town park and took a ride on an old-fashioned sleigh. There was a note in his seat. "Take a stroll in the woods with the snow to your knees. If you look closely, you'll see more than the trees." While Tommy was walking through the forest, he noticed different animals' tracks in the snow. Then he saw a note stuck to a thorn bush. "That hole in the snow, it leads to a den. There's someone asleep there. Do you know who and when?" Tommy looked into the mouth of a burrow. He could hear snoring. "I wonder who's asleep in there." Just then, a note came fluttering down with the snow. "We're moving along now. There are people to greet. You might get a chill the first time you meet." Okay, there are lots of animals in here hibernating. There's a bear, skunks, a badger, a hedgehog, some mice, a lizard, some bats, some frogs or toads, some turtles, some chipmunks, a snake. Lots of animals rest during the winter and even hibernate, which means they go into a deep sleep and they don't even eat for very long periods of time. Tommy continued his walk in the woods until he met Old Man Winter, Jack Frost, and the abominable snowman. Jack Frost handed Tommy a note. "It's a slippery slope, but you'll give it a try. Just don't stop your climbing till you get to the sky." Tommy came upon a band of climbers who were about to scale the side of an ice-covered mountain. They invited him to join them. When they reached the peak, he found a note stuck to an icicle. "Hey, hop on the back. You're in for a thrill. Before you know it, you've slid down the hill." At the top of the mountain, Tommy looked around and saw a bobsled race was just about to begin. This is a bobsled. The racers gave Tommy a helmet and he climbed aboard. Then they took off down the mountain. There was a note stuck to the tail fin. "When you get to the bottom, try checking in for a day. There's a frosty reception if you're planning to stay." Tommy couldn't believe his eyes. Before him was a grand hotel made entirely of ice. On the front door, there was a note. Now go to the beach and see something cool. Swimming in winter, they'll say you're a fool. The swimmers were having fun, so Tommy jumped right into the freezing water with them. He found a note frozen to the top of a bald man's head. Come in from the cold and warm yourself up. I've got hot chocolate to fill your cup. My goodness, swimming in the ice. Like this little guy has turned blue over here. I don't know if that's a good idea. Happy snow day. So, we don't usually have snow days where I live. Although, if it does snow and it's been cold for a while and the snow sticks, we're out of school and off of work for a day or two because we don't have the right equipment. We don't have snow plows or snow tires or any of that where I live. So it's dangerous to be on the roads. And so even a tiny bit of snow kind of disrupts things. But we love it when it happens about every other year or so. I want you to think about winter where you live. Do you see snow a lot? Or just snow every once in a while? Do you have snow days from school with a little snow or a lot of snow? Are you able to go ice skating or ice fishing? Wherever you live, whatever your winter looks like, there are fun activities. I've got my fire going. I'm going to have a hot chocolate. And sometimes we make a fire in the backyard in a fire pit. So I want you to think about what activities are special to winter in your part of the country or the world and how you can celebrate winter. Happy winter, everyone!